Hey, bought a bunch of D&D minifigures and want some customs to make? You're on the right video. Today I've got 5 unexpected customs you can make with the new D&D minifigure series.
Oh, and don't worry about my blocked nose. The first minifigure is this Queen of the Dragon Knights. Now everyone's used this torso and legs loads, but one way I haven't seen is to combine it with this helmet piece from female Thor. I've used this massive shield from Nexo Knights and just given her a long sword, but I particularly like this sparkly cloak from Vitruvius and this nice white shoulder cloak from the Queen minifigure from a few years ago. I think this adds for an almost elven look to these dragon minifigures, and I really like how the hair flows out of this minifigure's helmet. The next minifigure is this musketeer. I used the purple torso and legs from the Chiefling minifigure and gave it a purple cloak for extra detail. I've used this sort of fancy looking head and a big black hat like classic musketeers wear. I also gave him a longsword because I feel like that's the common weapon. You might want to swap out the hands for yellow because I don't know if they wear gloves, but I really like the way this hat matches the boots. If you want a different hat, this one also works well and has nice silver detail on top. Now, a non-fantasy minifigure you can make is the Star Wars Royal Guard. This is the Shadow Royal Guard, and it came in a Star Wars Battle Pack a few years ago. It's a pretty solid minifigure, but I've updated it by giving it a custom staff and the new robe piece from the Mind Flayer. I think this really works excellently with the torso, and as you can see, it looks like there's a bit of dirt on the bottom, as if this guy's been walking around the Death Star or something. I think this really emphasizes the look because they wear robes in real life. And while you can sort of see their legs in the pictures, I still think this makes it look more royal and fancy and a bit more mysterious and just an overall upgrade. The D&D minifigure series came with a dwarf, but there's lots of custom ones you can make. I've made 3 here. One of them is a minor dwarf, and I've used the torso from the Aarakocra Ranger minifigure with these small blue legs and a pickaxe. The other 2 are warrior dwarfs. For one of them I've used the legs from the Forest minifigure along with an old dragon's torso and a Viking helmet, and the other I've used the arms from Tasha the Witch Queen and this big axe from the actual dwarf minifigure. This series has a lot of surprising elements that work really well for a dwarf army, and I think I might just make myself one. The very last minifigure is from an old theme, Alien Invasion. As you can see here, I've got an ADU minifigure, but on his scared head is the brain thing from the Mind Flayer. When I first saw this piece, I thought this tied in really well with Alien Invasion, and if anyone had a huge collection of it, they could easily add this and it would look great. I don't have very much Alien Invasion stuff, but I always thought it was one of the coolest themes, and this brain piece works surprisingly well with it. So that's 5 brand new ideas for the Dungeons & Dragons minifigure series. Let me know your favourites in the comments and any ideas you had. I'll see you next time. Pieces.